Welcome to Next Level Podcast with Camille Babin, author, speaker, and soul coach. Each week you will hear stories, insights, and strategies on how to become your authentic self and live a life of purpose. So let's get started for the message of today. Hello and welcome to Next Level Podcast. I'm your host, Camille Babin. Thank you for joining me for another episode. Today is a very special day. It is March the 8th, and as you may know, it is International Women's Day. And this is a holiday that is celebrated around the world, around the globe. Why? Because it's such a marker for women. It is the day, if you will, that the women's rights is celebrated. We celebrate the accomplishment of those women that have gone before us, those that have paved the way for us to be able to stand. They were fighting issues like gender equality and abuse against women and all these restrictions that we know. Maybe if I ask you, you can point even here, the women obtaining the right to vote. And these are very, very important things. And I think not just for women, but even for humanity as a whole, because I think we want to really believe that the success of one gender is the success of the other. There is really no division. There is really no separation. So it's not so much a victory only for women, but it's also a victory for both men and women, because by what women are now able to accomplish because of all these things, all these rights that have been granted to them, now men can also benefit, right? We are making men's work easier, which is really what we were called to do, to become that helpmate. That's what we were created to do. So whatever women are accomplishing today, are achieving, it's really in pair or in conjunction with what men are doing. And I know this is really not the focal point of my message today, but I wanted to highlight that as well, because we tend to think that as we promote and try to elevate women to the level that they're supposed to be, some people feel like it means pushing down the men, but it's not taking something away from one gender or one person or one group to give it to the other. It's actually how we can make sure that we climb higher together. How can we make sure that we're getting, like in line with what God has said about us? How can we make sure that we're fulfilling the plan and the agenda that He has for all of us? So today, of course, I'm excited because I see the excitement, right, of all my sisters and my mothers and my daughters. I can see how we just happy. It's such a great day because we can commemorate, we can remember. And for most of us, at least people around my age or younger, we don't have a clear understanding of what it was. We may not perceive why this day is so important. Why? Because we were probably born in a time when all these things were already a given. We didn't really have to fight for us to vote. Yes, today we still have issues that are still important and that we still need to focus on. But, seeing what they were able to do, break those barriers, push back those limitations, and as today the saying goes, break those glass ceilings. We able now to walk into the path that they were able to forge for us. They were able, to draw a line where there was no line. They were able to make a way and really blaze the trail. And we can stand proudly today and acknowledge the success of those women. We can celebrate those stories. We can recall and tell those stories with great pride and joy. But I don't want us to stop there. I think we will really miss the point and fail if we only stop at celebrating what they've done as if that's all there is to do. But today I want to really, I want to encourage us and at the same time challenge us that there is still work to be done. And it's not so much in the areas of gender equality. There is so much more than achieving gender equality. This is part of it and it's very important. But there is more for the entire human race, for the world to see, right? We still have a big plan, a big commission to fulfill. We still have that big assignment that has been given to us to make all the nations disciples of Christ. So as we celebrating this day, as we, just enjoying the day and honoring the lives of those that are still marking the days and that have really laid the foundation and laid those stones, sometimes at the point of their life, Like how are we making sure that their work is not in vain? How are we making sure that we also doing what we're supposed to do, that we really playing our part, we really doing what's expected of us and even more? So I really want us to think about, yes, we talk about women's resilience. It is a day, and that is such a beautiful thing, like to see women are so resilient. And what do I mean by that? When we talk about resilience, we're talking about the ability, to just adapt, the ability to overcome adversity. Women are not, whatever comes our way, we have the ability, and it's a grace that has been given to us by our Creator. We have the ability to bounce back. We have the potential and the power, the capacity to emerge. Whatever situation, we're dealing with, we're always able to find a way. Yes, it may be trying. Women go through excruciating pain. We go through difficult situation, tragedies, and all of that. And I think it's not just women, but human as general, people as a whole. But women have that innate ability to just come back from the ashes, just like a phoenix, right? Rising up from the ashes. And we can celebrate that resilience, that determination, the persistence, the commitment to keep pushing and keep going and keep moving. Why? Because we have that in us. We have that strength. And it is that inner strength. It is that knowing in our spirit, when women, and we call it a female intuition, but it's more than that. It's using the Holy Spirit inside of us to achieve things that most people will not be able to achieve. Having that compass, knowing that there is more on the line. We rise up as, I want to say, Mama Bear, or even like those lionesses that rise and they know that, they're standing, protecting, defending the cubs. We stand for what we believe in. As long as we have a purpose, as long as we have a line, as long as we have a definite agenda, we know how to work and we're going after it full force. And today, I want us to be challenged that yes, we can clap, we can applaud all these women that are still doing it. There are still, women today that are making a way. There's still women that are breaking barriers, still women entering places that were closed for women all these years ago. We see those things being done. And today, I really want to focus on you. I want you to sit and say, while I'm celebrating such and such, this is a woman that has influenced my life. This is someone that I look up to. This is a role model to me. But while you do that, I want you to also look inside, look into yourself and ask yourself the question, what is my contribution? What is expected of me? What am I supposed to bring now in this moment, in this season, in this day and age? What am I bringing on the table? What is my role? What is my gift even? Like, what do I carry that the world needs? What do I carry that my community needs? What do I carry that my children, my family, those around me in my, the proximity, like what is it that I bring to them? How do I impact or influence those that are around me? What difference am I supposed to make in the world today? This is really the question that I want us to think about, because sometimes I think when we don't take that step to ask ourselves the question, we can easily forfeit our assignment. We can just stay in the position of just clapping for others. And it is great. We have to learn how to celebrate each other. We have to learn how to celebrate others, right? And rejoice for their achievement. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that all we do is just clapping for others and we just stand behind the line and we just stand back and watch other people just moving forward. We also need to do something. There is also something that we have that is needed, that is necessary. And I really want you to think about, what is it in this season that needs to be released? What is that thing that the world is crying out for that you hold? Maybe you don't even know. You don't see the value. And I think I already shared something like that about knowing our value. We need to know, to understand what we carry, to value, to treasure what we have, and to understand that no matter how small it is, it's still necessary, it's still needed, and we can never discount or discredit what we have and the value that we add to this world just because it doesn't look like the person next door. Just because, maybe you're not called to be the next Serena Williams, or you're not called to be breaking in the entertainment industry, or you're not called maybe to be, I don't know, the next female leader of a nation. It's fine. But whatever you are called to be, that's what is needed right now. And that matters. That's important. We already see even in the word of God that the body, we are all members of the same body. And the finger, we understand the importance even of the tiny finger or even the small toe. Because you bet, you as strong as you are, if you hit your toe, like against a door or anything, it hurts. And it's like for a minute, your whole body stops. It's just like that small toe just needs the attention of everybody else. I'm using that example just so you can see how valuable you are, just so you can see and you can stop fighting against yourself and even trying to convince yourself that what you have is not important, that what you have doesn't matter, and that the world can go on without you, that they can do whatever they're supposed to do without you. No. We all need what you have. We all need what you represent. We all need what you carry, what you know. It may be small, but it's necessary. It may be small, but we need it. It may not, it maybe hasn't even been appreciated in the past seasons. Maybe your gift and your talents and all these treasures that you hold have not been appreciated. Maybe people have despised you, and they just really they just look down on you. They overlooked you. Maybe that was the case, but again, resilience. You are resilient, and because of your resilience, you are able to overcome. Because of your resilience, you're going to push back and you will say, this will not be the end. I'm still going to rise. I'm still going to continue. I'm still going to move, right? In the face of adversity, you are still able to recover. You are tough. That's really the word we use when we talk about resilience. We say they're tough, but I think the toughness that we talk about is not so much our physical strength, but it is our mental strength. It is our emotional strength. And today, I really want to encourage you to get back into position again. Get back into your place again. There is something that, again, we need from you. I don't want us to just stop, and say, and maybe the question that is going through, or maybe the words and the things that you just hear that in your mind, in your spirit, and you just can't get past it. You're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. This is too big. This is too strong. This is, impossible. Oh no, what if? So I'm just going to ask you, what is holding you back? As you think and you reflect on the accomplishment of those, sometimes we like to think that the people that we talk about in the world, they're just strong and they don't have any type of adversities. And we feel like, they have it better than we do. We feel like at least they had this opportunity. If I had that, I would be able to do differently. But it is not true. It is not right. They also had adversities, and it's really because of that resilience, because of that mental toughness that they were able to overcome. They were able to push through. They were able to go, beyond the boundaries that were laid before them, those things that were set in motion, in place, and even coming against them. So today, I really want to speak to your mind. I want to speak to your spirit. I want to speak to your soul, that you understand that nothing should hold you back, and nothing is really holding you back but yourself. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe, it's your attitude. Maybe it's just that you like to procrastinate, or maybe you feel like it has to be perfect. I mean, there are so many reasons why we keep pushing. There are so many reasons why we just are being held back, and we feel like it's for other people. We feel like they can do that, but I can't. They have the confidence I don't have. They're not afraid, but I'm afraid. They know everything is good. But I want you I want to let you know today that we all have those moments where we feel like we're not enough. We all have those moments where we feel inadequate. We all have those moments when we feel intimidated, right? But we just have to push beyond it. We just have to push past it. We just have to break even those barriers and break those limitations. And guess what? The glass ceilings, everybody has to face them. We all do have those things. We all have those invisible glass, invisible lines. I'm reminded of when you go into maybe a crime scene, or sometimes you just go even at the airport, or different places you can go, and you have those lines, right, where they usually have those to define the line where people enter and how you move and all these different things. And I know that it's just so hard. Nobody, it's like they don't tell you, but just seeing those lines let you know that you cannot cross through. Unless somebody opens it, you know that you cannot walk through it. And today, I feel like we have to address those lines that are holding us back. Maybe we don't see them because they're in our mind, but it's time for us to bring those things down. It's time for us to really put them down, break them, cut them, whatever you need to do, just cut them up. If it's fear, detach yourself from it. If it's doubt, renounce those things. Say, this is not my portion. Or just like Joyce Meyer says, do it afraid. Do it afraid, because too many times we wait, to not be afraid. We wait to feel peace. We wait. And when I say we wait to feel peace, I'm not saying, to go past your peace like the peace of God, but I'm saying we're waiting for external situations to be right before we can make that jump. When you have that conviction in your spirit, when you know that is the time to do it, just do it. Don't try to find excuse. So today I really dare you to go beyond those limitations that you have imposed on yourself, or maybe that the world has imposed on you. Because if it wasn't for those women going past beyond those obstacles, we will not be celebrating this day today. We will not have anything to talk about today on this day. We will not talk about women's rights. We will not talk about, International Day and all these different things and other milestones that we want to claim and that we want to celebrate and applaud. So today is your turn. Look at it as the next generation is waiting for you, for what you will do also that will allow them, to just continue on. What is it that we have to extend to them so that they have something they can walk on? Other people have built that bridge for us to walk through. So now, what bridge are you building for the next generation to walk on? What are you leaving? And I was reading even this morning in Proverbs 13, it is, that says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children, actually his grandchildren, his children's children, and the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. And in another translation, he says, if you obey God, then your life, you will leave something, you leave that life to your children's children, to your grandchildren. But if you don't obey God, then whatever you leave, whatever you do, it will be passed on to the righteous. So, even seeing like that, I know we've loved to claim, the wealth transfer, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. But I want us to understand that the wealth that the Bible is talking about is not just the material or the financial wealth, but it's also us. What are we leaving to our children as far as, those values, those principles, that ethic, the fear of the Lord, all these different things that matter as much. So it's even the obedience, obeying the word of God. God telling us, to do something. He's leaving you a command. He's leaving you a direction and instruction. He said, this is what I want you to do. This is the dream that I'm putting in your heart. This is the goal that I'm setting for you. And I want to say we have no option but to do it. We don't have a choice, because guess what? If we don't do it, if we don't obey God like the word said, those who live right, they will get what we leave. So think about it for a moment. We are really called like the children of God, and we cannot walk in disobedience. So yes, we celebrate, but also, let us be focused on what is required from us now. And if you don't know, just ask the Lord, God, what do you have in store for me? What is the it for this season? What is that thing that you call me to? What is that assignment? What is the position? What is the place that you are calling me into in this moment, in this season, in this hour, that is so crucial for the next generation? That is very important, not just for me, but for my children and their children thereafter. So as you know, I want to leave you with these words, and my prayer is that we will really make that sacrifice to go after all that God has and push past the place of fear. And yesterday I made that post on my social media. There is a difference between healthy boundaries and fear. being held back by limitation. Yes, we need for our mental health, for our well-being, for our emotional growth and prosperity. It's necessary for us to set boundaries. We need to know also what is for us and what line we cannot cross. This is very important, and I would say wisdom requires that we know right where we stand, that we know our abilities, we know what we're able to do and what we're not able to do, or maybe what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. And at the same time, we do not want to be bound by fear. We do not want to limit ourselves in a place that God did not call us into. So yes, there will be times when God asks us to do things that are beyond what we feel like we're able to, but by His strength, by His grace, we will be able to do those things if only we refuse to be set back by fear, by doubt, by low self-esteem, and all these different things that sometimes come and they cripple us down. So today, this is my word for you. This is my prayer. This is my encouragement. And this is the challenge. I love a good challenge. So I challenge you to just go, take a piece of paper, take your journal, and ask the Lord, be willing and open and ask Him, Lord, what is the mission for the season? What is the assignment? What are you asking of me? What do you need? What is in me that is worth celebrating? What is in me, God, that maybe nations and generations after, God, will be rejoicing in? Because today we can rejoice. We can list all these women. We can rejoice, right? We just came out of Black History Month, and we have Rosa Parks, and so many of them, not just female, but even men that did astounding thing, right? We can celebrate those things, but what if there are other people, even in your family, in your bloodline, that are only waiting for you to rise up to the place that God has called you into? Just think about that. Think about the Solomon behind the David. Think about those people that are standing behind you and they're waiting for you to open that door so that they can walk through it. So I bless you in the name of the Lord, and by His grace, I will be back next week. Thank you for listening to Next Level Podcast. For more content, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Camille Babin. Until next time, embrace your power to become.